Welcome back to Big 12 Media Days here in Dallas, rolling along. We're going to give you a reprieve from Matt Barry as he gets ready for the Coaches Roundtable up on the main set. We are now joined by quarterback from Cincinnati, Brendan Sorbsy. Brendan, so good to be with you. Thanks for joining us. I hear not so happy memories in this exact building. Tell us what happened last time you were here.
Yeah, so last time I was here, definitely not the happiest of memories. My senior year, broke my throwing hand right over there about the 10 or 15 yard line. Not great. Obviously, all my buddies still remember it. I still remember it. Definitely ruined my senior year for me, but we're here now, so definitely a full circle moment.
Making new memories today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, happy memories now. Were you going in on the 15 or coming out on the 15?
No, we were going in. Still ended up scoring, ran a touchdown in. I looked over at my coach. I'm like, listen, this is not good. My hand is not good. So end up scoring a touchdown. Was banging on my chest, and then I was like, yeah, that just probably broke it officially if it wasn't
already. That's how you go out.
Yeah, for sure.
So when you look at last year and everything, what were you proud of with what was accomplished? Because there was a lot of great moments looking back at everything.
Obviously proud of how we started. We had some really good things that happened for us. We found a way to stay in every ball game, I guess, as well. Really didn't just get beat ever whenever we did lose. Obviously there was a game here or there, but I feel like a lot of times we were just shooting ourselves in the foot. That was the biggest takeaway from last year. And this offseason we really focused on being disciplined, playing disciplined football, and just finding ways to go out and win games instead of finding ways to lose games. So I feel really good about the group we have going into this next year, and I'm excited for what we can do.
Brendan, I'm always curious about what quarterbacks are doing in their offseason. I know you go back and you watch all your tape and you review the good, the bad, and you start making lists of what you want to improve upon. What do you want to get better at as you head into week one?
I would say just overall, just settle into the game early on. Know that every play doesn't have to be a home run. Know that every play is also, there's a chance that it could be a home run, and, don't always just take the check down, but also don't be afraid to take the check down as well. Looking back at film last year, there were so many things you probably know as well, playing quarterback, that it's like you look back and you're like, whoa, like I hope I never do that ever again. There's definitely a few of those from last year, but I would say I'm excited to get back out there this year and, showcase what I can do again, and I feel really good about where I'm at as a player and where we're at as a team right now. Just all the work that we put in this offseason is going to pay off for us.
Brendan, it was known in the offseason that other schools showed some interest in you. Why did you ultimately stay at Cincinnati to see this through?
I love Cincinnati, and like I said earlier, I was like, we started out really hot. We beat some really good teams, and we, lost some close ones to some really good teams. And I know that this team can be special. I knew that, obviously the system fits me. I can run a little bit, I like to think. So, obviously Coach Sat likes to run the quarterback. And, I don't want to be known as the guy that's just bouncing around place to place. I want to be the reason that we're here in Dallas playing for a Big 12 championship, and I feel like we have the group of guys to do that.
You have a bunch of new pieces around you, though. I mean, you look at the offensive line, some new additions there. Yep. Corey won't be next to you there in the backfield, so a couple new faces there, talented guys, and some new guys on the outside. So how have you kind of developed a rapport so far with some of your new teammates?
Luckily, we were able to get all of our wideouts and running backs and skill position guys that, I need to be on the same page with back in January. So we had a full spring, and those guys are, a bunch of freaks. We got some speed now. We got some size, guys that can go make plays. I'm excited for those guys. And then we got Tawee Walker from Wisconsin, to try to come fill Corey's shoes. Obviously a great back in Corey. But I'm excited to see what we can do on offense this year. I think we could be really special.
Speaking of those weapons, talk to me about your tight end, Joe Royer. You guys had a great connection last year. How are you going to build upon that going into this season?
Both of us just watching back from last year, there were still so many opportunities that we left on the field. And, I like to think he's the best tight end in the country. And whenever you have that privilege of having the best tight end in the country, it makes your life easier, especially whenever he's going to be an NFL tight end and, can block in the pass game. You have to be nice to him as well, because you still got to remember he's got to block for you in the pass game as well. So, but obviously, having these new wideouts and, these elusive running backs, hopefully open up some more opportunities for him as well. And maybe he can get some bigger yardage gains next year going into it. Maybe he's not getting double teamed as much and all that stuff.
Well, we appreciate the time, and we wish you the best of luck this upcoming season. We'll say goodbye to you, and we'll say hello to his teammate Dante Corleone when he gets up here. The Cincinnati Bearcats obviously start the 2025 season against Nebraska at Arrowhead Stadium, which what an opportunity. That game was originally scheduled to be at Lucas Oil. There's some renovations going on up in Indianapolis, and so the change was made to Arrowhead. Travis Kelce apparently played a big factor in getting that done, so pretty incredible opportunity to be able to play the first game of the season at an NFL stadium. We'll get Dante set. Hi, how are you, Dante?
Good.
It's good to see you. Thanks for taking the time to join us. Now, you've been a projected draft pick for a couple of seasons in a row. What led to the decision for you to return to Cincinnati this season?
Yeah, it's maturity for sure. Just knowing the NFL can still be there, but maturity gonna go a long way, you know, because they don't want to develop people for long in the NFL. So you got to be as top shape as you can. So I took that for a grain of salt, and I just stayed and got a lot better as far as the business side of it, and then like school and wise.
Well, it was a trip. I remember a couple years ago, y'all were playing Pitt. I think it was week 1, maybe week 2. I don't remember when it was. I remember watching and be like, this guy's ridiculous. I looked him up. Dante Corleone, oh, he's a killer. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Last year,
it would have been 2 years ago.
23, yeah, we played him at Pitt, yeah.
Yes, and I was like, this guy's, I'm wearing a single digit. This guy's a beast. Were you wearing 0 at the time?
No, I was wearing 2. That was Jawan Briggs that wore 0.
So you were wearing, all right, so 2 is, I was like, these 2 guys on the inside of Cincinnati would be a problem.
So the funny part about that, I was his backup.
Yeah.
And we both was all conference first team. Yeah. So like his leadership helped me a long way in my career.
Well, it's been amazing to watch you grow, man, and see what you become. It's amazing too to see the importance of the defensive tackle spot and how few there are, and how many teams are desperate to add one. I know you probably heard overtures throughout the offseason. We asked Brendan a second ago, why stay at Cincinnati? You say the same thing. Why is it that you feel so entrenched in this opportunity you guys had this year?
Well, just first of all, just being a local kid, you know, just growing up. And then I'm from Corleone, 15 minutes away. You know, mom, home-cooked meals, like, you can't beat that type of stuff. But, like, just the legacy they brought from my high school to Cincinnati just goes a long way for me. And I just love showing up to work every day.
Yeah.
We wish we could spend so much more time with you. I'm sorry, we've got to get to the round table with the coaches. I'm going to blame Sorbsy for taking too long to get out of the seat and get you. I know, quarterbacks, they're all about themselves, aren't they? We really appreciate the time, Dante. Best of luck this season.
Appreciate you.